is I, the Poptimist. Say we have Ashley Briggs and Atlanta Jade from Hexproof. Give me the genesis of Hexproof.
So it took 7 days. No, I'm just kidding. Hexproof started originally in Florida. It started as an acoustic duo in 2016, and then in 2017 it went to full band. And then it basically was made in spite of being told no, joining other bands. I auditioned for many bands as a vocalist, looking like just bands being like, oh, we need a vocalist for our band. But a majority of bands told me no because I was a girl, but they weren't specific on what vocalist they were looking for. And, I'm from Tampa. So Tampa and Orlando was very big in like pop punk or like hardcore.
Really?
Yeah. So they were just like, oh, we're looking for like a male vocalist. I was like, oh, well, your ad didn't say that or this didn't say that. And it took one band to use my audition like tape, which is like I had to write lyrics to a song, and they ran with it. And
stole it?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, they didn't take the whole song. I only did like a verse and a chorus, but I was like, this can't be that hard to do myself. And we started in 2017, and our first show ever was at a venue called the Orpheum in Tampa, like the OG Orpheum. Yeah, and we opened for Metro Station, which is Miley Cyrus's band, brother's band. So, and after that, I was like, it's not that hard. We'll just do it.
What a fucking amateur move on their part, because
for real,
if you're in Nashville, the way that you get tipped is by having a girl front the band.
Yeah. I don't think there was that like evolution of female fronted bands or just females in the scene at all than how it is now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I hear so many people loving like Spirit Box, and it's like before Spirit Box there was I Wrestled a Bear Once. But it's like not many people I feel like heard of that band. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like she was in that band female fronted, but I don't think there was so many female fronted bands or just female vocalists than there is now. I don't know why, but it's the same thing too. It's like you see them now more on festivals. Like there's just more people coming out with them.
To be fair, I feel like there's a couple different reasons why. One, I feel like Paramore and their whole genesis is a big reason why. And then Taylor Swift. I mean, she's the biggest fucking female star on the face of the planet.
Well, you know what? And then there's also this stigma that's like, oh, you have a girl singer? I guess you're just trying to be Paramore, aren't you?
For sure.
And it's like, I like Paramore as much as anybody else, but are we trying to be the next Paramore? No.
Yeah.
And they just did it really well, and they're awesome. And yeah, they have a female vocalist, but, a lot of people feel like, they're the inspiration for all girls who want to play in rock bands. You know?
Or like colored hair. I have colored hair. You know what I mean? And we sing rock. But I'm surprised we've probably only gotten compared to that maybe once.
Really?
Yeah. And if so, it's like the first album, Paramore. It's not anything after that.
Well, I feel like it's when you're a woman and you're trying to do the music thing, it's entirely different from my experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always played in mixed bands of men and women, more than just all dudes. But I've found typically that with women that are musicians, they're easier to work with because there's not the same amount of ego.
Yeah.
Because there's a stereotype in Nashville of the rock dude with the tight pants who dresses like he's from 1976. And he's a fucking nightmare to deal with.
I hate them.
They had tight pants in 76?
Some of them do.
No, I feel that that's like the one rule is like, Hexproof has had a few members throughout the years, especially now moving to Nashville. But it's like, unless you can walk off the street and you can talk to a stranger and go, do you know who I am? There's really no reason for ego.
Yeah.
Like some of the biggest people in music, like you can go to a stranger and they're like, who?
Yeah.
Like, for example, Ashley's favorite band's Metallica. I couldn't name you one song.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't listen to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it comes down to taste.
You know what I mean? It's so I just feel like there's really no. But like you said, the ego, it's really hard to work with, and I think moving to Nashville, like that's the one thing I loved about this community is if you're hard to work with or you're sketchy or whatever, everybody
Nashville
knows about
doesn't
it.
put up
We
with
look
it.
out for each other, and I really like that because Florida just felt super competitive. Like that Metro Station show, just being a girl, they're like, oh well, who did you sleep with to get to the show? It's like that's a good insult, my guy. Where did you get that one from? Like that's the first thing you come with. It's like I slept with your mom. That's what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your mama.
Yo mama.
Your mama.
Yeah.
But it's just like, dude, we're hard workers. We hustle, and it's just like we just try to show up at the end of the day and put all that we can behind our music, and we just want to do this as a career.
And full transparency, we do love Paramore.
Yeah,
we covered
this is
Misery
not to any
Business for
bands.
like
Metallica,
6
we would love to
months or
open for you.
whatever.
I promise I'll learn all your songs.
But we are trying to rock our own shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
So,
Yeah.
So we're aiming for like a genre. I don't think it's really even out there or made, but we always say we're hybrid rock. I don't think that is a genre made. So when you hear us, you think about multiple like stems from rock, if that is alternative, if that's indie, if that's hardcore, if that's metal. We kind of stream from multiple influences and make what is Hexproof.
What is your writing process like?
Hers or mine?
I was about to say that is a fabulous segue into like the main.
Ashley needs to tell you hers. It's incredible.
So the main event of Hexproof right now is creating a 5-song EP. So I actually joined Hexproof last summer, and they had recently released an EP. When was the first EP released?
It was June of last year.
So
Feelings Deleting.
Feelings Deleting with Atlanta's previous bandmates came out in June, and I think I joined around July-ish.
Actually, nobody was on that.
Okay.
It was me and the producer. And we had one song with one drummer on it, but the rest of them, it's just all me and the producer.
Period.
So
Damn.
I didn't even have a full band yet.
That's amazing. Yeah. So the lore, she needed some new band members last summer. I joined kind of as like a fill-in, just like help out and like check the vibe. And then I realized I was like, this is so fun. She's awesome. I met her at a Halloween party the previous year.
Okay.
Just in passing. And so, it seemed like a really great opportunity to just like do something new. Previously, my energy was focused into a metal band. I still play in the metal band and a couple other friends' bands and all, but I love pop rock stuff. So into the fold with Atlanta, it felt natural. And so although this EP had just come out, I was kind of thinking, if we're going to stick this out together, I want to write us something new and just like, we'll continue to evolve and rebrand. Yeah, rebrand a little as a duo, or if we find some other bandmates. We're still looking for a full-time bassist and a drummer, but we've got 2 guys that have been filling in for shows with us that are just awesome. And so just waiting for the right guys to come along that really want to be a part of what we're cooking. So either way, I've got 5 songs going right now. I've been writing with my friend Chris Baldani and his roommate Augustus, who's become a good friend of mine since we started last fall. And I've got 1 day of guitar tracking under my belt. I've got 2 more coming up. We've got like 2 vocal sessions in the books.
Yep.
And my friend Corey Calvert is going to play drums on the EP. So,
fuck yeah.
Everything is in motion for us to have a whole new era and brand new EP within the next maybe 2 to 3 months.
So the writing process is Ashley has an idea, but she shows me a YouTube clip.
A YouTube clip.
So each of these songs, I open YouTube and I type in like drum track YouTube backtrack of drums, and there are hundreds of people that like create like MIDI drum tracks for like influenced by Metallica, influenced by Avenged Sevenfold, influenced by whatever, new metal drum track, BPM 100, BPM 200, whatever. And so I literally all day just like pick different drum tracks, cue them up, and I riff. And so I write to these drum tracks, and then my friends Chris and Augustus or my friend Joe can help me kind of bring it to life and make new drums and oftentimes make them better. So
yeah.
But I write
because we don't have a drummer, right?
Yeah. I guess back in the day it would be like a drum machine. People would use drum machines to kind of like demo on their own. And so I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to like DAW stuff. Like Logic, I have it, but I'm terrible at using it.
We're literally just a girl.
I'm just a girl. When it comes to like music, computer, items together, I'm lost. And so I played a YouTube drum tracks, but then I deliver them to Atlanta, and she just pops out like the coolest vocal line I've.
Well, there's something to be said, I think,
about.
for having a limited amount of tools during the writing process, because it forces you to be more creative.
And I've never been in that situation before, so that's kind of why I reached out to my friends Chris and Augustus, because previously, like in my metal band, it's 3 other guys, and so we could bounce ideas off of each other. I bring one idea to Joe, and he helps me flesh it out, or maybe we start at Isaac's house, and he's a drummer, and we just come up with an idea together. But this process, you know, as just a vocalist, I was like...
Yeah, I don't play any instruments, so I just can only lay down
You
vocals.
could hang out with me while I, you know, like live my worst ADHD nightmare of like going through like 100 different drum tracks and riffing, or I can just like cook and then bring my ideas to you
I've seen
eventually.
both.
So
Yeah.
But that's also for us. I mean, it's like you're only a product of what's stopping you. We don't have a full band, but we still can cook something in the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for us, we don't try to use excuses on why it's taking longer, why it's doing whatever. It's like, we want this. So how do you do it? We use resources to at least paint a picture.
Yep.
And then have someone who's skilled, or that's like their profession, to be like, hey, we have this idea. Can you bring it to life?
Okay. Very nice. What studio are you guys going to record at? Do you know yet?
So my friend Chris actually has a home studio. It's out in Brentwood, and it's pretty much as legit as you could get. I mean, they've got more guitars than I've ever seen in one place in my life. Like, could rival Guitar Center. Got all the cool amps you could possibly want to model on your stuff, and he's been
2 adorable cats.
2 adorable cats, and he's been working to at a professional capacity for years. I mean, I don't think he even has like a day job. He just does music.
Yeah.
So it's a really legit home setup.
Fuck yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, well, I love recording, really playing a show, writing music, and recording music are 3 different headspaces for me personally. You know, I have to be in the mode. Like, if I'm in gigging mode, I'm playing really well. I'm like playing hot with a band.
Because you're a bass player, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a bass player. So, but like I write, and when I write, you know, I'm not, as a bass player, I'm not writing like Victor Wooten style songs. Like, it's not me.
I mean, not with that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Not yet.
But I just think at the end of the day, like, I've always tried to imagine like a scene, or I picture something whenever I'm writing. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that being said, I feel like for me, writing is a very lonesome process, but not lonely process.
Do you only do instrumentation, or do you do lyrics too?
I do everything.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so like right now, really, my band is just focused on
What's your band's name?
Canada Duck Feet.
Okay.
So
Are you Canadian?
No.
Okay.
She's Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you were born in Canada?
No. I have a dual citizenship, though.
Really? How?
My dad's Canadian. He's from Nova
Oh.
Scotia. He's from Dartmouth, which is close to Halifax.
I know exactly where that is. So when I was a
Makes one of us.
child, I was in Florida, but my dad was in the Navy, so we moved up to Maine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so y'all are neighbors.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you know Trailer Park Boys?
Of course I know Trailer Park Boys. You know what's funny is I showed my dad that show in Letterkenny.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is so funny. And whoever doesn't have that sense of humor, or who just isn't Canadian, doesn't find it funny at all.
Yeah.
They're just like, what is this humor? But my dad was like, I mean, today years old when he figured out, like, he started watching it maybe 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, and Trailer Park Boys and Letterkenny have been around for a hot minute.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Trailer Park Boys is, like, it reminds me of growing up in Maine.
Yeah.
Very
Very
much.
similar, yeah.
Word.
100%.
I've never been to Maine. I went to Canada one time, and I went hiking in Banff. So like all the way.
Oh, nice.
Like
Fuck
other
yeah.
side. I don't even know. Where's Justin Bieber from?
He's from Toronto.
Okay, I don't know.
think I'm pretty sure.
Shout out to JB.
Yeah, we've only been to Portland, Maine.
Portland's a great city.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny because people always are like, what's Maine like? And I'm like,
Good food.
Lobsters.
well, I don't fuck with seafood.
Word.
No. Oh my gosh.
I don't fuck with seafood
Even
at all.
as a Floridian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Word.
don't mess with it. It's disgusting. I don't like it. But Portland is it's like wouldn't even be like a good suburb of Nashville, you know. It's like the closest major city we have is Boston.
Wow.
So that's 2 hours away. So there wasn't, like when I was growing up, barely any bands came through.
I believe it.
Portland, because that's where they would go if they played is
Sure.
in Portland. And I definitely saw some great shows there, though. When Black Keys did El Camino, you know, when they were
Gold
like,
on the ceiling.
Yeah, when they were really at the height of their powers, they played a show in Portland, and it got released on like a double album when they re-released El Camino, and it was that whole Portland, Maine show.
Cool.
But it was really cool. They've interviews with them over the years, they've always said that Portland, Maine show is one of their favorite shows that they've played.
What's the big venue there?
At the time, I think it was Cumberland County Civic Center.
Word.
Since I've left, they've opened up places that are like Ascend now.
Okay,
Or
word.
First Bank Amphitheater. Have you guys been to First Bank Amphitheater before?
I haven't,
Yes.
and I don't plan on going. I hear it's a nightmare.
The parking got a lot better, but
Okay.
yeah, I saw Lana Del Rey there.
Oh,
Such a
shit.
good-
God,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Lana.
That would have been a good show. My
Yeah.
friends Aubrey and Kiara went to that, and they told me
Okay.
they cried.
Chapel,
so
Jonas Brothers, 5 Seconds of Summer, lots of artists that I love.
Yeah. Big
I've
Time
played
Rush.
there. Yeah, exactly. But Lana, I should have gone to see Lana there.
Yeah, parking was a nightmare. I heard it's gotten better. I mean, we did miss the opener, and we got there 2 hours early. So I don't think if they said parking's better and that's better,
Ooh, Lord.
It's a great, great fucking venue.
It
Okay.
is really
It's
cool.
worth dealing with all the bullshit. Like
Okay.
I took my dad there. I got us tickets to see John Fogerty from CCR. Because that was like one of the things in my childhood. Whenever we go on a
Yeah.
road trip, we'd listen to CCR. But
Cool.
it was for my dad's 60th birthday, so we went to that. And I was blown away by the venue. I
Okay.
think it's not only, it might be my favorite in Nashville,
Really?
but it might be, I think, one of the best venues.
it is a cool
in the
setup,
wo-
and
in the
sound
world.
was really good.
It's
like,
amazing.
I don't want to
Wow.
compare it, but it does give it a little Red Rocks vibe.
Totally.
But Red Rocks is obviously way more gorgeous.
Yeah.
Than First
I've
Bank.
never been to Red Rocks.
I've been to Red
I
Rocks
haven't.
once.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see a show there?
I did. I saw All Time Low, my favorite band, at Red Rocks
Oh, shit. Okay.
in 2023. Maybe last year. I can't. It was last year, 2024.
Yeah.
And they played with I can't remember. Bad Sons, I think. But either way, they were kind of celebrating like 20th anniversary or something as
Yeah.
a band. Like it was a big kind of like eras
That
almost
makes me feel old as fuck
kind of
now.
thing. Yeah, yeah. It was awesome, and
Hey,
it was
At
great.
least your dad went to a concert with you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
That's
waiting
fair.
for my dad. I always want to take him to a Pearl Jam concert because his favorite band,
Yeah.
and he has never gone to see them. I can't imagine never have seen my favorite band.
I can't either.
Who's your favorite band?
What's that?
Who's your favorite band?
Favorite band probably. Well, for modern stuff, I have a top three. So,
Let's hear it.
Arctic Monkeys
Okay.
for sure. Fucking
Hexproof.
love Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, me too.
Hexproof, yeah.
I love the Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
They're on my bucket list to see.
They're great.
Do you see them at Ascend?
I did.
yeah.
I've seen them 4 times now.
Oh, word. Okay.
I've pretty much seen them on every tour since. Well, so that show that I saw, the Black Keys, Arctic Monkeys opened for them.
That's sickening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
Wow.
But I've seen them on every tour since Suck It and See.
Love.
And then Queens of the Stone Age.
Word.
I fucking love Queens of the Stone Age. I saw them a couple of years ago when they played at Ascend.
Okay.
Probably the best live rock band that there is in my
They
opinion.
play Feel Good Song of the Summer.
I don't know if they played that. But here's the other thing. The thing that I appreciate, they have such a big catalog now. When I go to a show, I want to be disappointed that there's not songs that I heard.
Okay.
Like if it's a good band,
Word.
you want to leave something on the table.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Queens of the Stone Age, I feel like they're like I was never really into their early stuff. Like I like it okay. Bumped into the microphone. But I really got
Speaking
into them
passionately.
like Clockwork On.
Okay.
Word.
I feel like those records are really good once they have like their solidified lineup that they've been playing with.
Yeah.
And then
Which album did Dave Grohl play drums on?
He played Songs for the Deaf.
Word.
So I didn't really get into them. I got into this album. Well, I got into Humbug by Arctic Monkeys first because Josh from Queens of the Stone Age produced most of that album.
Very cool.
And once I got into that, I'm like, I knew Queens, but I wasn't like a huge fan. So I checked out this album, Era Vulgaris, that they were originally, Trent Reznor was supposed to produce that album.
Word.
So when you listen to it, you can kind of hear like the ideas of why it was supposed to be Trent Reznor. Because Trent Reznor, he's like his production style, he's very surgical, you know, like I feel like he's Dexter. He like lays out the plastic and gets ready and all that shit. I feel like Queens of the Stone Age, they have a torture room too, but their torture room, it's in an insane asylum, like in a basement.
For sure.
With rusted everything. But yeah, I love them. And then the Black Keys are probably the Black Keys and then all of Dan's offshoot projects.
Cool. And that's just under his name, right? Or is there a project name?
So he has a solo shit, and then he also has the Arcs, which Nick Mofshan was the bass player in.
Word.
But yeah, the Arcs is more like psychedelic and a little more experimental, you know?
Yeah.
Black Keys pays the bills. The Arcs are creative expression. So
okay. But I'll always remember the time Ashley told me a story that someone thought she met the Black Keys.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was on my way to a party, so I stop at Walgreens for something. I don't remember what I needed. I'm in line at Walgreens right next to my apartment, and in front of me are both of the guys from the Black Keys.
Oh,
and
shit.
I normally, if you told me if you asked me what they look like, I'd be, I don't know. But I had just interned for their management company on the east side of town, okay? So I was like seeing their face all over these materials on t-shirts and things, and I'm just like answering mail and running coffee and stuff. It was a cool internship, but either way, I know what they look like kind of freshly. I see them in front of me at Walgreens, so I text my roommate, who's my bestie, and I was like, oh my God, the guys from the Black Keys are in front of me at Walgreens, like right next to our house. And she goes, oh my God, Fergie?
The Black Eyed Peas. Well, okay, so you want another funny story based off of that?
I was like, yes, Fergie.
You saw Fergie and you thought she was the Black Keys?
No. So, okay. Do you remember, like, Tighten Up? And that was, like, the first big Black Keys song.
Yes.
Well, they won a VMA for Tighten Up. Like, they won, like, an MTV Music Award for that. And on the trophy, it said Tighten Up, and under it said the Black Eyed Peas.
Love. I want that trophy. Are they selling it?
They're practically the same, I guess.
Yeah.
Did they win the same award for Lonely Boy? Because I love that music video.
Oh, it's a great video. I don't know if they won any awards for that, but
okay, word.
But yeah, I have a deep love for the Black Keys because it was like a month before I graduated high school, Brothers came out.
Word.
So it really set the course of my adult life in a lot like
I'm really inspired by Fergie too.
Hey, she's one of the greats.
The goal is to do the front flips and sing at the same time, like she did on Good Morning America.
Yeah, the cartwheels.
Yeah, just don't pitch yourself like she did.
Hell yeah! So would you say that those three influences of yours come out in the music that you play with your instrumental band? Or is that more like freaky?
That's a good question. Probably yes. I think I just absorb, naturally, like whatever I'm working on musically. It's always just whatever I'm consuming,
Cool.
Like it's your diet of what comes out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would say for Canada Duck Feet, the project I'm working on now, I don't fully know what it's going to be yet. Like,
okay. Is it new? It's fresh?
It's yes and no. In some ways it is. Like we played here and we played like on the Halloween special as well.
Word.
And I've played one gig with the band, but we did at this Indian food restaurant in Bellevue, actually, right next to Kroger.
Oh yeah, I live right across the street.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that Cancun. Shout out to Cancun.
Oh yeah. I was just there a couple weeks ago with my dad. We went there to get Mexican food.
Oh heck yeah!
We've been there. We're tearing that place up.
But we played this gig. This keyboard player had hit me up, who's kind of like TikTok famous, and he didn't have a band because he had gotten the gig, and he's like, can we play like with your band? And I was like, we haven't technically played a gig yet. I have a bunch of songs that we can do.
Yeah.
So we did like basically a bunch of, we did 45 minutes of like soul instrumental surf covers.
Word.
And then for an hour and a half, we just straight up jammed.
Love. Nice. Call me next time.
Yeah. It was fun as shit. And, but the keyboard player ended up being a fuck. I hated him. He's such a dick. Because after the gig, we go out. He confronts me in the parking lot the way that I introduced the band.
Oh.
Because I introduced us as, at the time, I was going by the Poptimist Review. So I said the Poptimist Review featuring this guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he confronted me and he's like, I wanted you to say like my name first featuring you guys. And this was really his first gig that he's played in Nashville. He's been here for 3 or 4 years. I just said, whatever, bro.
What a diva.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? Like,
honey, you're in Bellevue.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
At an Indian restaurant.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. He got us the gig. So I was grateful for that.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he had the fucking audacity to confront me. We had a break in the set too, so even if he would have told me in between and been like, hey man, can you introduce the band this way, I would have said absolutely, no problem. Apologies.
How were you supposed to know that?
So we did have, and to his credit, we did have a previous conversation about it, but that was like 3 weeks prior to this. So we were on stage. I wasn't even remotely fucking thinking about that. But if you would have reminded me, it wouldn't have been an issue.
Also, if you guys are a band, isn't the whole point just the band name is what matters?
Well, so we weren't a band.
Okay.
Like, he had gotten that gig, and he was like the featured artist, and he was trying to get a residency there.
Okay.
And he had talked to me. He's like, yeah, if it goes well, maybe we can do it. But the gig actually went well. We played super fucking well.
Yeah.
And people were either along for the ride or not, because like that first set was digestible.
Sure.
The second set, we were taking people to the murky fucking water.
Okay.
Let's go.
You're like, I will definitely put your name first.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, now that you mention it, I'm really mad at you for not introducing us as Hexproof plus the Poptimist.
Yeah, honestly,
I know.
Yeah.
Take it up with my manager.
Okay, man. What the? That's so silly.
It was super silly, but I just feel like there's a lot of bullshit like that. Again, going back to the ego.
So we have a story. I don't think, Ashley, you know this. So we had a drummer that joined us years ago, like maybe when we first started, okay? And we found him on a Facebook group, okay? And
nothing good starts on a Facebook group.
literally. So this was gearing up to our show with the band Idola, which is the singer of Dance Gavin Dance. That's his project.
Okay.
Which singer?
Andrew. Yeah. And Reese, he lives out here. He's also in like a lot like Birds and everything. He's super cool. He's a super talented bass player as well. So we were opening for them in Tampa, okay? And the drummer and the bass player decided to go get food 30 minutes before we have to go on. And they ran into our set time that we only could play one song.
Damn.
Yep. And then the next day was like, I am disappointed you didn't say, we're Hexproof featuring I'm not going to say his name, ... right? But he had a name, okay? And it wasn't even his name. It was like a stage name.
Yeah.
And I thought the stage name was kind of controversial to be like, I'm not going to say that out loud, right? And I was like, hey, we're looking for people who want to be in this band, not Hexproof featuring yada yada. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I might have to rethink my position. I was like, that's fine, because I was ready to I'm also Hispanic. I don't know if you knew that. I was about to square up with him in the parking lot because like I was like, these people we're opening for influence our band, and we're in the same, like, they play Marathon Music Works now, like they're touring full time. Like, we wanted to make a good impression on them, right? And we could only play one song because you and the bass player forgot what time it was because you guys were hungry. Like, you know what I mean? So then the next day at practice, he gives me a contract. He's like, moving forward, this is what we're going to be doing for Hexproof. It's going to be Hexproof featuring blah, 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 blah. And I'm only going to be playing this much, and I'm only going to be doing this, and I'm not in charge of this. And I'm like, thank you. You can leave. We're going to move forward with somebody else. And he's like, what? I'm the best drummer out here. And I kid you not, anybody who has ever gotten an ego with Hexproof and tries to like backlash at me and think I'm losing them, I haven't seen them do anything else with music.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard anything more of him. I haven't seen him in another band.
Well, it's purely a loser's fucking mentality, dude.
So true. Period.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It pisses
I feel
me
you
off.
on that. You know what I mean? But we didn't have a prior communication before that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, for my particular story, like, that's the only benefit of the doubt that I would give him. But the other fucking thing that I didn't mention, he shows up to the gig, like those little amps that come inside of an Epiphone,
a Line
like
6?
Les Paul. It's even smaller than a Line 6. But like when you buy your my first
kidding.
guitar,
Yeah.
Yeah,
my first act? Oh,
Yeah.
I love those at
my
Walmart.
first act, literally.
that's the kind of amp he showed up with.
Word.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, bro, where's your amp? Do you have another amp? And I again, being a gigging musician
He's
in
like,
Nashville,
no, I'm loud enough. The people need to shut up to hear me.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the vibe. I had to go run home and get an extra
No
bass
way.
amp that I had.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
To make sure that he could be heard. And there was like a PA on stage, but I'm like, we're not going to fuck with that because that's only going to be tragedy during a gig.
Yeah.
For him to balance his levels if he can't do it right behind him.
Oh, yeah. I blew out a PA one time at a local show.
Yeah. Really? Which?
It was Orlando.
Okay.
It was the venue. I don't know if they're a venue anymore. I'm sorry, Orlando scene, but it was right next to Uncle Lou's. I don't know if you've been to Uncle Lou's in Orlando.
Is it downtown?
Yeah, kind of. It's right off of downtown. I'm going to forget, but they always have a festival, like a DIY festival. It's like Uncle Lou's and the venue right next to it.
Uh-huh.
And we were playing, and this is the first time I ever bought a Telefunken. And I plugged my Telefunken in. They like plugged me right into the PA, and then all of a sudden you hear, and then
You
just
blew
like,
it out.
just like, and I'm like, this is great. And everyone's like, that's so pop punk, like so funk, rock and roll, whatever. And they're like, yeah, Hexproof. And like, to be fair, like we were a menace, like getting into the scene because just we were tired of being told no. We were tired of like all the odds against us. That there was this one time we sold so many tickets to a show. Like it was just kind of like if you sell them, you get paid, but also like it kind of does your place. And we probably sold like 40, 45 tickets.
Yeah.
And this was a festival with 10 other bands,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like that was a good turnout. And they're like, hey, we're going to put you as opener because these new bands who were 16 and 17, we really got to give them a chance in the scene. And I'm just like, no one gave me that courtesy. So I was like, then we need to get compensated for more of these tickets because we didn't haul booty to be opened. So we opened. They were like, too bad, so sad. We opened, and they demoted us on a big, like we were supposed to be on the bigger stage. They demoted us to a smaller stage, and we ended up taking our guitar and throwing it in the wall. And we were talked about the whole entire day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe we missed their set, blah, blah, blah. And then we were like, we're never working with this venue or this company ever again.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to hustle, promote, do socials, and then be like, oh, well, you just need to be more community friendly to everybody. When like nobody has ever been that way to us.
No, and
I don't think two wrongs make a right. But I think there needs to be like, hey, then if that's the case, there needs to be some compensation for stuff.
Yeah, well, I think motherfuckers will try and take advantage of you.
Period.
They will try to bully you into whatever their agenda is.
And half the time, we're the only girls on a lineup, or like at that festival, I'm pretty sure we're the only girl band.
Yeah. You just got to tell them to fucking suck it and to fuck off.
No,
Literally.
that's okay. We just use that, and then we just get bigger shows, and then, they always up coming back around and be like, hey, do you want to play this show or open up? We're like, oh, sorry, like, we're good.
No.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, and we don't even like be dramatic about it. Like, I mean, that was intense, but the venue itself was known for like beating up the wall.
Yeah.
So the wall was destroyed. People signed it, whatever. So I was like, how funny would it be if we just, because the whole band was pissed.
Yeah.
They're like, we didn't hustle and do all this to
be disrespected.
Yeah, to be from mid lineup to now opening.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot, like my other band heard this like more times than I was really happy with. People's excuse, they'll just say, you just got to pay your dues.
Oh, yeah.
Honey, shut up.
Yeah.
We paid our dues. We worked really hard, and other people are just like chilling, The dues have been paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I feel like men probably think they can push you around. Like I feel
Which
like
is funny because I'm tall. We're both tall. We're 5'10". So push us around.
And I know how to box.
Yeah.
And I'm scrappy. And I'm fast.
And I lift, man.
She lifts.
Yeah.
So
I could probably deadlift you.
But I feel like most
I want you to.
most dudes in that situation, they drop their guard because you're women and they feel like, oh, they won't say anything, they won't do anything.
That's what they hope, but they got the wrong bitches.
Good.
Yeah.
I like to hear that.
Florida woman.
Two.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
God,
in
the
the
mouth runs like the wind.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, it's just I've seen it time and time again where it's the thing that I feel like, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like women get offered opportunity sometimes, but there's a caveat to it.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's expectations that are unspoken where it's a dude trying to be greasy.
A little snake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be anything like throughout the years in the music scene, or just even in a lot of jobs, like being like, oh, she's young and dumb, she won't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And here's my thing with like any beef. I mean, I don't know about your other past experiences, but like any beef I've ever had with anybody, it's one of those where it's like, thank you, and I'll just move forward. Unless you're messing with like my intellectual property or my money is the only time I will blast you, because I would not want that happening to anybody else.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, we're a girl's girl. If someone's going to do something sketchy, it's like, hey, like you can work with whoever, you're an adult, but this was our experience. Like, here's our Yelp review about this so-and-so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, same thing too. I was just talking about this with one of my friends. 2 music venues in Atlanta, Georgia, are like, no one's working with them anymore because of the background behind it. And people are like, you're doing sketchy, crappy things. We're not going to support you.
What kind of sketchy things?
Sexual abuse. It was not just sexual abuse, but it was like the business partner knew the other business partner was like beating on his like wife or something like that, and was like very physical to women. And people found out about that. They're like, we're not going to support a band that likes to abuse women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard enough already. So you're saying if girls go to this venue and something happens, they're just going to stay quiet? You know what I mean? So it's just like, we all have to look out for each other. So many bands just started dropping off bills from them. And it's like, that's the one thing that the reason I made Hexproof is I was the one who got everything thrown at them, hit at them, was told no, but I still was like, I'm still standing, I'm still moving, and I'd rather be the one voice that can be for many, so the people can speak up, because they're like, oh, well, one person's doing it, so I can do it.
Where does your resilience come from?
Honestly, I'm really big in my faith, so I would not be here standing today if it weren't for God. I've been through the ringer. Everything that you can think in the music scene that has happened to women has happened to me. And I honestly probably should be dead, but I'm not. But to me, I move forward to be hopefully an example to people, to be like, you can have the worst thing happen to you that makes you feel like you just want to die, but there's so much more out there for you. And it sucks to push through. Either way, it sucks. But it's like,
that's the nature of life.
Choose your hard, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not only just, God, but the people who end up coming in my life, it's like I'm doing what I'm doing for them as well. Like, Ashley inspires me every single day. Like, she's honestly probably just as crazy as I am with like worth ethic and like her passion too. Like, I don't, it's really hard to find like-minded people. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah, and then, I mean, gosh, I can get emotional about this because it's just, I know you can't pick my brain, but anything you can think of, like, it was really hard for me, but pushing through, I was like, there's a reason I'm doing this, and I feel like I was put on this earth to do something, and I love music, and I want the best with it. Like, I have no doubt we're going to go far with it. That might sound cocky, but I just like... It
takes that, though, to keep it going.
Because anybody who knows the music industry, it's tough. You cannot be weak in this industry.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to motherfuckers will try and take advantage.
Yeah.
They'll try and push you around. And I think, for myself, I've always just wanted to be real about what I I've never given a fuck if it's gonna hurt my career at all.
Period.
I think the truth always prevails. So
Yeah.
we're in a generation of canceled culture.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like people are gonna talk. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's stuff said about me or the band, but it's one of those things. It's like the truth will always prevail. People who meet us or know what we've been through, they're gonna be like,
you guys are cool as fuck. I like
We're really funny,
Yeah,
talented,
we're funny.
hot,
Yeah. Ashley's got a big
successful,
butt. Yeah.
got a cute
She's just-
dump
yeah,
truck.
Literally, she shreds.
Yeah, shredders.
So it's like, yeah, I get you. People are going to try to always knock you down. But here's the thing. Anybody doing better than you is never going to have time to do anything with you or knock you down.
For real.
Well, I would rather have a bad reputation than a good reputation.
Period. Okay.
We love
you
a
know,
bad boy.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that I'm a bad boy or even see myself at all that way. But if someone is gonna come at me and they're gonna make some kind of statement or claim, or they're gonna have some kind of perception, because reality's very shaky, dude. There's not a lot of absolutes. There are very few absolutes, I would say.
True.
Everything else is perception. It's whatever someone believes it to be. We are all the events of life are happening around us, and just to do a microcosm of Nashville, so much of it is just what people perceive to be reality. And I think for myself, I want to distort reality. Like it is not. There are very few true absolutes. Like I think don't beat or rape anybody. Don't cause harm to children or anything like that.
The bare minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bare
Yeah,
minimum. Right.
like just all the basic human being stuff.
Yeah.
But really, the thing that I've accepted now, I think human nature is rotten, and you have to overcome that.
My biggest thing too is that's the thing. There's been so many things that people are mean or people are cruel. Why would I join them?
Yeah.
I'd rather have all the bad stuff happen to me and still be nice, still be kind, still be respectful. Because one, that's going to get under their skin more. Like, why isn't she, more cynical or negative? But it's also, who likes to be in that mind space? You know what I mean?
Maybe me, honestly.
I mean, Hater Nation, rise up. But
Yeah.
no, I totally agree with you. I mean, it feels really good to be the bigger person and just to, walk away from some things that you're, gonna forget in 6 months anyway. Why
It's
waste
still hard.
It's hard, but why waste your energy on something that just absolutely sucks when you could go eat a waffle and take a bubble bath?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
write a song. Or go
write
to
a
the
song,
gym.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Do that energy in something else that fuels your fire. So, for me, it's music. If Ashley knows, if an incident happens, you're getting a song written about you. If you do something to me, you're getting a song written about you.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're so excited for these songs, because it's
Well, that's how you process.
yeah, I've had really bad stuff happen all last year, and it's the people who are probably going to listen and watch this, they're probably going to know it's about them. But same thing too, it's I'm also in my soft girl era. I'm in love, so songs are gonna be written about that too. You know what I mean? So we're really just girls, but
We're just
it's just. But
girls.
also, I like to write music that's also vague, so you don't know who it's exactly about. But also the whole one goal of mine for a songwriter is I want to pull Weezer. Okay.
I love Weezer.
Wrote a song about masturbation, but I don't think anybody who actually knows it's about masturbation.
What song?
Say It Ain't So.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
I mean, think of the lyrics.
Is this a proven theory?
I don't know, but I've told multiple
We're
people.
starting it
I know
now.
we're starting it now.
starting this
Multiple
rumor right
people
now.
have told me that song is not what you think it is, but it makes sense because it's flip on the telly, wrestle with Jimmy.
Yeah, maybe. I guess
You know what I
it's
mean?
open to interpretation.
What is it? Your love is a life taker. That can be multiple things.
Yeah.
But that's
Wow.
anyway. Whether that's I've heard multiple things. Once that song came out, they're like, "Did you know that song is about masturbation?" Weezer, you can prove it. Hit us up.
I thought it was their Africa cover.
Oh yeah, no. It's but that's a goal of mine is to write a song about a hot dog. But you think it's this most intense, crazy story. But I'm like, no, I just really liked
You'll have to guess
Costco hot dog. You know what I mean?
which song on the Hexproof EP is about a hot dog.
Yeah, literally. You'll have to guess.
I'll have to guess
Yeah,
when I listen
it.
to it. I feel like when I write now, I write more like character-based stuff. Like I wrote a song a couple of years ago from the perspective of a school shooter.
Oh, Lord.
It's called Revenge of the Prom Night
Okay,
Virgin.
Law Dispute. We love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, tell us about that. Let's unpack that a little.
Well, it's just we, as a society and a culture, this is not even a political statement.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
But people that decide to walk into a school with a gun and start shooting people are mentally ill. You know, and I feel like there's always 1,000 different reasons why it happens, but I wanted to take toxic emotion and justify why it is. Kind of like a manifesto almost.
Wow. Okay.
Well, that's what I love too about music. Like, it's still an art. So painting a picture or doing something that can set a whole mood, just how your writing is, I think is beautiful.
Yeah. I think, well, there's a bunch of things that happen too that we don't want to acknowledge as a society that happen.
Like dinosaurs and roller skates?
Like dinosaurs and roller skates, exactly.
I'll never believe it.
Okay, so this is more of a fever dream aspect. Yeah.
It's the fanny pack for me.
Yeah, I was about to
honestly.
say, this is entirely unrealistic because a dinosaur would never wear a fanny pack.
My friend Sarah House made that. She's a fantastic
Shout out
artist.
Sarah.
Yeah, hey,
And
Sarah.
she's a tattoo artist here in Nashville.
Cool.
Okay.
What shop?
But she posted that a couple of years ago, and when I don't know what shop, I can't remember which one.
Word.
But she posted that a couple of years ago, and I was like, "Hey, can I use that for my logo for my podcast?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Love.
But so I feel like I have two aspects of myself. I have the not give a fuck, not afraid of a bad reputation
Punk.
aspect, and then there's the other side where it's very cerebral fever dream.
Oh.
Are you a
You
Gemini?
know? No. I'm not a Gemini. I'm a Scorpio.
Period.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Ashley loves astrology. I'm getting on it.
I like it.
I think we're
What is your
compatible.
astrological signs?
I'm a Capricorn, like through and through and through and through.
So your birthday just passed?
January.
January.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I'm a cusp baby. So I'm a Taurus, but I'm the last day of Taurus. So the next day is Gemini.
And oh my God, wait, I'm the cusp of Capricorn. I'm the very last day, January 19th.
Yeah.
So almost Aquarius. But I think that I have the most Southern birthday in history. I share a birthday with Dolly Parton, Paula Deen, and Robert E. Lee.
Oh shit.
Does it get more Southern than that?
Yeah,
No.
that's fairly Southern.
Yeah. Oh, and
Fairly
Edgar Allan Poe.
controversial.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe as well.
Yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe's great.
Iconic.
Yeah.
So Ashley naturally is going to be iconic in nature.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
keep a lookout.
Birthday with Dolly.
Yeah. The most Southern birthday possible, I think.
Yeah, I know where she lives. We can go hang out.
Period. She'd love us.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Dolly's
You should have her
classic.
on the podcast next.
Oh yeah. I actually have her booked.
Word.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming soon.
At a Cracker Barrel?
No, not at a Cracker Barrel.
Next time.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to
First
do
watch.
the
Oh, first
period.
watch. Okay.
That's the
moving on
millennial
up.
Cracker
Bougie.
Barrel.
Okay, yeah.
I loved her Cracker Barrel commercial. I was like, man, tell
I didn't know she had a
Oh, yeah,
Cracker
they
Barrel
like
commercial.
sponsored her and everything. They did her
Oh,
that rock
Christmas
and roll.
album, right?
No, I thought it was the rock and roll.
Well, I feel like,
they
yeah,
were
yeah, it was-
promoting it through there. Yeah.
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 Period.
Yeah. I love Dolly. She's
Yeah, me
great.
too.
Yeah, are you guys Merle Haggard fans at all?
Well, not intentionally, no, but
Yeah.
I don't know any of
I
his
don't know who
music.
that
So he Merle. You don't know
I
who
only
Merle
wear his
Haggard is?
t-shirts. I only
Okay.
wear his t-shirts.
So Merle
Like Harry Potter
Haggard.
Hagrid? No, I'm just kidding.
He,
Merle.
in my opinion, is like probably my favorite country singer. Like out of all the classic
Oh,
country
that makes
singers.
sense. See, I don't like country music. I know it's controversial because we're in Nashville, but like,
And you're from Florida.
I know.
But you like
literally.
Dolly though.
I don't listen to Dolly. I like Dolly for her iconicness. She's
What
really
about Johnny
sweet.
Cash? Do you like Johnny Cash?
Johnny Cash, I learned all the lore about him when I first moved here. My mom wanted to go to the Johnny Cash Museum, and it's the same thing with Elvis. I found out, I was like, oh, Elvis was a big deal. And my mom's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, I think maybe a certain generation or certain types of music, I was just...
You missed.
I didn't like country music until I heard Casey Musgraves.
Casey Musgraves is
I'm
good.
With Ashley
now
on that
I'm a
one.
country girl because I love Golden Hour.
Yeah.
But
Casey,
I like Velvet
yes.
Elvis. That's my favorite song of hers.
Love. Mine is Happy and Sad at the same time.
Okay.
Or
My
Happy
dad
and Sad,
was
I think it's
a
called.
Alan Jackson fan, and my mom was Faith Hill. That's the best.
I don't like Faith Hill.
That's the
I like
only
a lot more
country
country
I have
now.
as a background.
Yeah.
But I didn't like country until Golden Hour.
Well, Merle Haggard, he wrote a song about Dolly Parton called Always Wanting You.
Okay.
Oh.
They were both married to other people at the time.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah. R.I.P. to Dolly's man.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Widow
Yeah,
vibes.
yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, sad.
But
R.I.P. to Merle
wow.
Haggard as well.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Pour
yeah.
one out for Merle.
Man. Dolly was not her
That's
man.
cool. Have you written a song about anybody before?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah, well, the first song
Kind of
that...
fun, right?
Okay, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think like the first single I ever released was a song called Gina Gina Gina.
Oh.
What's her name? Gina.
Yeah.
Nice.
Word.
Yeah. Italian East Coast girl.
Bolder than me. I will never put a name.
Yeah, it was
song.
probably pretty bold, but I mean, I was already living in Nashville. I was moved away from where I was living.
I could
so.
be any Gina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was really the first thing that I did in Nashville. I recorded at Blackbird.
Okay.
I had a
Cool.
buddy
Yeah.
who was going to school there and was like, "Hey, I need to do it." So we recorded in the same like room D, which is where like Kings of Leon did Only by Night and
Yeah.
fucking the Rock on Tours did Consoler of the Lonely.
Very cool.
So that was a really great experience. But yeah, I've definitely written songs. As I've gotten older, though, I don't really write songs about dating, relationships, or love anymore.
There's still time.
I don't think it's ever going to be something that I go back to, honestly. You know, I think in a lot of ways, I've written all the great songs about that I can write personally. And now, you know, my interest is much more in line with like school shooters, are people getting chopped in half, genocide, stuff like that is really
Light and fluffy stuff.
Yeah.
where
Cool.
I really feel. But the other thing I'll say is I feel like I've gotten to a point in my own artistry where I write a song now and I'm like, really, I don't know anybody else who's going to write this kind of song. Like it's not necessarily that it's bad or good. It is just unique to me.
It's unique. That's
I will
cool.
say, like, the first intense song I've heard like that was King Park by Law Dispute. And, like, if you haven't heard that song, I encourage you to listen to it. It paints a whole story about someone accidentally shooting a kid in, like, a drive-by.
Oh, shit.
And, like, the lyric, like, it just takes you the whole thing and you're like, holy crap. But it's one of those things where it's like, you can't really sing along to it. It's because it's like
Why not?
spoken word yell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
but
could yell
one of the
along to
lines
it.
when it does the build up, like they're like the cops are surrounding the hotel. The guys don't know if he's gonna like shoot himself.
Yeah.
But the line the singer screams is, "Will I still get into heaven if I kill myself?" Ooh.
Yeah.
And you're just like, holy heck. And it's just like it takes you that whole story mode and emotion, and how he ends the song is you don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
You don't know if he got arrested. You don't know if he shot himself.
I
Like,
prefer things to be vague.
Yeah.
Isn't Jeremy by Pearl Jam about a school shooter?
Yeah, actually it
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a single that's going to be coming out soon
Word.
called Deception Pass. And I don't have a release date for it yet, but the whole thing with that song is I was really watching a lot of S. Craig Zoller movies. You know S. Craig Zoller?
No, name a movie.
So he did a movie called Bone Tomahawk. It's a horror western
Okay.
where it was like a Native American cannibal tribe kidnaps this guy's wife.
Wow.
It's a scary, graphic, violent movie.
Oh, okay.
Kurt Russell's in it though.
Okay.
He plays like an old western sheriff. You know, he's got like cool,
My man Kurt. Let's go.
yeah, facial hair.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that and that song in particular has 3 references to it. So I reference S. Craig Zoller, I reference Trailer Park Boys, and I reference Rush Limbaugh because I wrote
What
it
a mix.
on the day that he died.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, let's use this moment to segue. What else do you have coming, like music wise, podcast wise? What are the goods?
May 10th is going to be my gig at the Springwater.
Cool.
Canada Duck Feet. We don't have anybody else on the bill yet.
Okay.
I'll be announcing more of that soon.
Wonderful.
But that's really it. And then podcast wise, I'm just releasing once a week. So
fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
We're cooking. So we've got lots of recording dates in the books, which we already, spoke about. But a friend of mine started a new booking company. My friend Cody, he started Shuttle City Booking, and he kindly added us to a bill on May 30th. We're playing with a band called Grimsley.
Yeah, Grimsley.
Do you know Grimsley? I don't either,
No.
but it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, we're excited. It's going to be at Dark Matter.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then one other really cool thing that we have been graced with is the Music Neighbors nonprofit is actually hosting us on January.
June.
Is it June? May 11th.
May 11th. Oh,
May
11th is our studio date. Yeah.
They're paying
Okay.
for us to do a whole day in the studio, like a full day of recording. So we're going to do an acoustic version, won't tell you which one, of a song from Atlanta's old EP. And then
Okay.
hopefully 2 kind of experimental songs that me and my friend Augustus are going to write together. So shout out to my friend Hope Seiler, who submitted us to this nonprofit for this.
Yes, and Chelsea and
Awesome.
Jason have been so awesome to
Awesome.
work with. So what they
Nonprofit.
do for the community is just honestly so amazing. And I feel like that's just everything like we've kind of talked about in the beginning was just like that's all we want to do is just grow this community and be there for each other. Like you said, in a world of all these, mother effers, just be the
Yeah.
one that just supports and be there, be the kind soul out in the world. So they came to our show at 5 Spot, which also Alt Jacent. Shout out to Alt Jacent.
Shout out to Alt
And
Jacent.
Nashville is the reason they have their local band night the first Friday of every month at 5 Spot. And that's where Chelsea and Jason came out and hung out with us. And it was just such a good time. Like, people supporting people and just businesses, community, bands. Like, I love that love from other people being like, hey, we're all in this together. Like, I don't like the competitiveness. We all thrive at our own time. And I think everybody's journey is completely different. So me and Ashley, we don't gatekeep. At least I don't gatekeep.
I gatekeep a little bit, but no, I'm kidding. But anyway, while you were
Yeah.
talking about like the freshness, I just wanted to bring up those cool things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And then I don't forgot, but we entered ourselves for Warped Tour main stage, and I think it ends in May. I don't know the exact date, but this May is the last month to put all the votes in. To hopefully we can play main stage in Orlando.
Did you ever
Fuck
go
yeah.
to the
For
Warped
Warped
Tour
Tour,
back in the
yeah.
day?
Oh yeah. I never went, but that was my era. You know?
Okay, word.
I did the cheesy thing. I handed out my band's EP and was like, "Do you like rock music? Listen to," and just did that all at Warped Tour. It was so cringe. Love it. But
Yeah.
I feel like, bringing all that back just to be like, hey, we don't have CD players in our cars anymore.
Here's a
CD.
QR code.
Speaking of that, I have something for you.
Oh fuck yeah. What do you got?
I have stickers.
Okay.
Ta-da. But I also brought you a shirt.
Oh hell yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Nice.
Hey, wait, that's cute. What's back say? Letting your heart slip out of your hand.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Future lyric in a song.
That's for you, the
Thank
you. That's
Poptimist.
for you.
Oh man.
Unreleased, so you get the first of the first.
I'm honored.
Only a
First one.
handful of people have gotten that shirt as a little teaser of what we're about to
Fuck
put out.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very
Well,
cool.
dudes, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
This is really cool. And also another shout out, because that's what we like here, Nashville State College for having us, right?
Well,
Is it
it's
Nashville
Oh, wait, let's
Community?
get
What
it
is
right.
it? Tell me.
it's NECAT, so
NECAT,
it's Peg
shout out.
Studio.
Okay.
So
Shout out.
public access TV station here in Nashville.
Yes,
Shout out.
that
For
shout
being
out.
such a help.
We
Yes.
love y'all.
Yes.
Fantastic. Cool.
We love them. And we love you. Thank you for
Yes.
having us,
And
Thank you,
if
thank
you
you.
like us, if you like our music, you can find us on Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, everything under Hexproof Band. And yeah, come hang out. We make silly content and put out silly music.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, dudes,
you,
thanks
Taylor.
for coming on.
Thank
yeah,
you so much.
absolutely.
That's a wrap. Keep on dreaming. See you next week.